Every country prints money, but only one currency controls the world. It pays for oil, it dominates global trade, and it influences financial markets across continents. This currency is the US dollar. But here's the real question. Why does the entire world still trust it? What makes money powerful? Money itself has no real physical value. It is just paper or digital numbers moving inside computer systems. A currency becomes powerful only when people agree to use it. Trust is the foundation of economic dominance. Today, more than half of global trade transactions are conducted in US dollars. Central banks across the world store dollars as reserve assets, because when global uncertainty rises, people search for stability. And for decades, the world has associated stability with the US financial system. The beginning of global dollar power. The story begins in 1944. World War II was still changing the fate of nations. The global economy was collapsing. Factories were destroyed, trade systems were broken, and financial confidence was weak. World leaders gathered in a conference known as Bretton Woods. The goal was simple: create global economic stability. During this meeting, a historic decision was made. The US dollar would become the central currency of the global financial system. Other major currencies were linked to it. At that time, the dollar was backed by gold, meaning every dollar had real material value behind it. This system helped rebuild global trade after the war. The 1971 shock decision. But in 1971, something unexpected happened. The United States ended the gold standard. The dollar was no longer directly backed by gold reserves. Many economists predicted financial collapse, because historically, currency strength was tied to precious metals. But something different happened. Instead of losing power, the dollar became even stronger. The reason was global trust. Countries had already built their economic systems around the dollar. Breaking that system would have created worldwide instability. The petrodollar system. Oil is the most important natural resource in modern civilization. Without oil, transportation stops, industry slows, military operations become difficult. The United States created strategic agreements with major oil-producing nations. Oil would be traded globally in US dollars. This system is called the petrodollar mechanism. If a country wanted oil, it needed dollars. This created permanent global demand for the currency. It was not forced dominance, it was economic dependency. Financial infrastructure and global markets. Modern global finance is deeply connected to American financial institutions. Many international transactions pass through systems influenced by US banking networks. Global investors often move capital toward American markets during crisis situations. One of the world's most influential financial districts is Wall Street. When global wars, pandemics, or economic uncertainty occur, money tends to flow toward the dollar, because investors prioritize stability over short-term profit. Fear often strengthens the dollar. Rising global challenges. But history teaches one important truth. No system remains dominant forever. Today, new economic forces are emerging. China is expanding international trade influence. Digital currencies are being developed across the world. Some countries are experimenting with alternative settlement systems. Global financial power is slowly shifting. The question is not whether change will happen. The question is how fast it will happen. The psychology of currency power. The true secret of the dollar is not military power alone. It is psychological trust. Currency dominance is built through decades of confidence. Global businesses price commodities in dollars. International debt markets operate using dollars. Central banks maintain dollar reserves for economic security. Replacing a global reserve currency is extremely difficult because it requires massive financial infrastructure, deep capital markets, political stability, and global acceptance. These elements cannot be built overnight. They require generations. The future of global money. The world is entering a new technological era. Digital currencies are emerging. Financial networks are becoming decentralized. Economic alliances are shifting slowly. Could the US dollar face serious competition? Possibly. History shows that economic dominance changes over time, but dismantling a global financial system takes decades. Trust is the most powerful economic force, and trust is built slowly. Final reflection. The US dollar is not just a currency. It is a global network. It is influence. It is economic structure. It is international confidence. The world depends on it because the system has been built around it for more than 80 years. No empire lasts forever. The real question is not whether the dollar will collapse tomorrow. The real question is, when change eventually comes, who will be ready to shape the future?